Welcome to the yoga method. Today's practice is a short restorative practice dedicated to opening your hips and creating more mobility. As always, we begin by centering ourselves, so closing down the eyes and really establishing beautiful posture. Breathing in and out through the nose and setting an intention only if you wish to be present, to bring awareness, with gratitude landing in this moment. Just taking one more full deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, just opening the windows of your eyes. And I'd love for you to either stay in Sukhasana with Grant with your left leg in front, or come into what we call Agni Stone Basana. So it's a double fire log. So you slide your bottom leg slightly parallel to the long end of the mat and stacking your second leg on top. We'll all begin with our hands behind us just momentarily to exaggerate the lift and the length of the spine. Posture is primary. And then flood the breath in. And if you feel like there's more spaciousness to explore, then you can begin to hold onto your knees for support or reaching beyond. So just take a moment to really establish the lift and length of your spine, softening through your shoulders, and I invite you to close down your eyes. And as you stay and breathe, if more space begins to open up, then descending that little bit deeper. If you're in that double fire log position, you could land your elbows, one on your knee and one on your foot, just to encourage a little bit more depth. Wherever you are, just taking 3 more breaths. For 2. 1 more full deep breath in and out. On your inhalation, please lift your heads, your hearts as you open your eyes, and grounding into your right hand as you reach your left hand high. Take a gentle side bend. It doesn't matter what shape your legs are in, just as long as we're anchored through the pelvis, breathing intentionally into the left side of the torso and not forcing the body. So coming up against that first little level of resistance, and then pausing to breathe to soften into it. Taking 1 more full deep breath as you are. And when the time is right for you, rising up on the inhalation before taking a gentle twist with your right hand finding your left knee and your left hand acting like a second spine. Once again, establish your posture. And then on top of that beautiful foundation, begin to revolve. The in-breath offers more length and lightness. And the exhalation finds us grounding and revolving. Taking 2 more breaths. Just 1 more goodbye breath in and out. On the inhalation, we return our eye gaze, and on the exhalation, release the twist. Bring both hands behind you, and let's open the legs right up for just a moment. So Grant's going to demonstrate a bent knee position in a wide leg seated fold. Variation 2, you can lengthen your legs a little bit more. But like a broken record, once again, posture's primary. So just focus first on really lifting and lengthening. And then from there, only begin to explore a little bit more length if it feels good to your body. Your hands can rest on the floor, a bolster, a block, and you can also take your hands to your shins or to your feet. Finding your edge, finding that end point where you're feeling just a bit of resistance that holds your awareness, but you are still able to soften and breathe and relax into what you are feeling. 3 more breaths wherever you are. Last 2. And one more full deep breath in and out. On the inhalation, lift your heads, your hearts. As we come out of this, you'll bring your left foot in first. And you're either taking Sukhasana with Grant or you're coming into Agni Stonebasana. So bringing the other leg in as well. Shin parallel to the long edge of the mat, and then top shin parallel to the bottom. Variation 1, hands behind you to find the lift and the length. Variation 2, hands could come to your knees. And variation 3, we're just shifting forward as far as the hips will allow. The moment you feel yourself really rounding through your back, you know you're asking too much. So establish a little bit of length before we descend. And that final option we gave on the first side was landing the elbows just to encourage a little bit more openness into the hips. Finding breath. Arriving in your bodies. Flooding your inner world with your awareness. Taking 2 more breaths. One more full, deep, smooth breath in and out. On the inhalation, open your eyes, lifting your heads and hearts, and then grounding with your left hand as we reach with the right on the in-breath. Ease your way over any amount as the breath comes away from the body. Grounding into your right hip a little bit more deliberately. Rolling your bottom ribs around as your top ribs move towards the ceiling, towards the sky. How deeply can you breathe into your right lung? And at the same time, can you relax just a little bit more through your face, through your neck, through your shoulders? Just take one more full breath in and out before we reach and rise on the in-breath. And take that gentle twist on the exhalation. Right hand supporting you. Left hand finds the right knee. Establish your posture before you spiral. And with each in-breath, could you grow a little taller? And with each exhalation, could you revolve a millimeter more? Long spine, relax your shoulders, breathe deep for 2 more. One more full breath in and out. On your in-breath, return your eye gaze. And on your exhalation, release your twist. And we'll come all the way over onto hands and knees. So blocks could be on the right side of your mat, or you could use a bolster, but we'll step our left leg forward to begin with. So once you have that left foot forward, you'll check that your knee is above your ankle. And then I'd like for you to rise all the way up just momentarily. So your left hand is on your left thigh. We'll establish ear over shoulder, shoulder over hip. We'll take a breath in together. And on the exhalation, I'd like for you just to sink forward. So the hand might touch your block. On your in-breath, return. On your exhalation, maybe your block goes a little bit lower. So just 3 more like this. So active mobilization or active flexibility just momentarily. Testing the waters for 1 more breath. And on this exhalation, I'd like for you to stay right here. So the hand could be on the block or on the floor or on a bolster. But you'll ground into your right hand, you'll ground into your left foot, and then you'll spiral your chest towards your left thigh. So exaggerate the pushing down in order to lift up, and only if your neck allows, turning to look to the side or even all the way to the ceiling. Find a little tuck of your tail, and if possible, lift through the abdominal wall and gently engage your right glute as well. Last 2 breaths. 1 more full deep breath in And on the exhalation, return your eye gaze, please, and press yourself up once again. Take your block with you and begin to lengthen through your front leg. So variation 1. Block is on the high end, right hand on the block, left hand on your thigh. Variation 2, the block will come out of the way, and you'll simply frame your foot, your shin, finding the perfect variation for you. Last option, we're going to ground into the right hand just momentarily and see if we could take a gentle twist at the same time. So right hand to the earth, left hand reaching as high as the shoulder will allow. And at the same time, we're drawing the left hip back, right hip forward as we stay and breathe for 2. One more full deep breath in. And then on the out breath, frame your foot again. Please just take a moment to plantar flex and dorsiflex through your left foot, giving those nerves a little love as well. So exhaling to press the foot away, inhaling to return. Last 2 as you are. One more time, and we'll leave the toes drawing back towards the shin. From here, a little tuck of the chin. And if there feels like there's still a little bit of space to work with, just easing yourself in as far as your hamstrings will allow in this moment. Wherever you are, celebrating your efforts as you stay for 2 more breaths. One more full deep breath in and out. On the inhalation, ripple your way back up. Please ground into your left foot, shift your weight forward, and then picking up your back knee just momentarily to really stretch the underside of that thigh. So from here, on the in-breath, charge your back leg. And on the exhalation, just bend your knee to the earth momentarily. Inhale to open the underside of the right thigh. And on the exhalation, ground again. Just do 2 more like this. Inhaling. Exhaling. One more time. Charge, lift, and hold before gently releasing that knee. We're going to come into Hanumanasana or split. So we've done a half Hanumanasana and we've also opened our hip flexors. So the block is your best friend on this, but you might also even want to use a bolster with a block on top of it. And we'll find just the perfect edge for you. So variation 1, this might be as far as we go, just focusing on the hamstring. Option 2, we start to slide left foot forward, right heel back. Left foot forward, right heel back. And your block, your bolster, will land just above the knee joint. So it's in the fleshy part of the hamstring rather than behind the knee. And as we stay and breathe, if more space becomes available, we're just lowering the block down or removing the block altogether. I'd love for you all to tuck your back toes momentarily and really exaggerate the charging of your back thigh. It'll bring a little bit more integrity to the muscle, but it will also open the front of the right hip more. And then just lift your eye gaze a little as you take a breath in. And on your exhalation, maybe you're just bowing your chin to your chest. Variation 2, same thing. We're going to lift on the in-breath, but maybe the whole body bows on the out-breath. So find the perfect option for you. Breathing in, maybe it's just the spine that moves into extension. On the out-breath, maybe chin to chest or whole body folds. Let's just do 3 more. So exaggerating that movement upwards. And on the exhalation, you'll feel a little bit more into your hamstring. Last 2. Full breath in. Full breath out. One more time. Find the lift, the length as we pause and hold. And then finding the depth to your flexion as the breath comes away. On this next inhalation, let's just stay tall. And I invite you to close your eyes and just feel what the body is feeling, basking in the sensation the body is providing. thanking our nervous system as we take one more full breath in and out. However you get out of this, it's perfect. It doesn't need to be pretty. We're just going to begin to slide the legs in one at a time. You'll remove your block, your bolster, and then you'll bring your left foot back, and we'll take a moment in child's pose. Child's pose never felt so good. Knees wide, big toe together, just bowing the head here. Perhaps a gentle sway through the pelvis. And just feeling how one side of the body might feel a little different to the other. Last 2 breaths. And one more full deep breath in and out. The good news is we're halfway there. The bad news is we're halfway there. So just ease your way up into 4-point kneeling. Maybe moving your hands a little bit to the left to get your right leg through. Block is on the inside of your right foot with your left hand reaching for it momentarily. And then once you feel established, just tucking through your back foot so that you can rise up and stack your ear over your shoulder. We breathe in together. And on the exhalation, we're descending and touching the block. And then we're deciding, do we want to move it lower? We'll inhale, reestablish the tuck of the tailbone. And on the exhalation, descending. Maybe we're getting rid of it. Full breath in, belly strong, left glute is on. Exhale, come as deep as the hips will allow. Last 2, breathe in. Breathing out. One more full breath in as we rise. And on the exhalation, we stay and breathe. So please bring your block back if you prefer. And when the time is right for you, stamping down into the earth in order to lift upwards and revolve. So the pelvis is descending, but we still want to be actively tucking through the tailbone, lifting through the abdominal wall, and gently engaging through our left glute to stabilize our pelvis, but to also help open the front of the left hip. Looking to the floor, to the side, or to the ceiling. Stay and breathe for 3. Just one more goodbye breath in. And on your exhalation, please return your eye gaze. Half Hanumanasana. So we're beginning to lengthen through the right leg, shifting the weight back as we lengthen. And then option 1, one hand on the block, one hand on your thigh. Please feel free to stay there. Variation 2, maybe the block goes a little bit lower or we're reaching for the floor. And that final option I gave you on the first side was to take a gentle twist. So challenging our hamstring flexibility and then adding a little bit of spinal rotation. We can gaze to the floor, to the side. If your balance allows, you're welcome to look to your top hand. Stay and breathe for 3. Drag your right hip back, left hip forward. One more full breath in. And on your exhalation, gently releasing the hand to the earth. So find the block if you need. And then we added a gentle flex and point through the ankle joint. As we draw the toe back, you might feel a little bit more sensation as we bring the nerves into the stretch as well. So dorsiflexion on the exhalation, plantar flexion. Last 2. And on this last one, let's leave the toes lifted. Please stay exactly as you are. Or if you feel like there's a little bit of room to play with, we're just finding the edge on this side. One side of the body can feel quite different to the other. Just acknowledging, recognizing without judging. And taking 3 more breaths. For 2. 1 more full, smooth, beautiful breath in and out. On the inhalation, we lift our heads, our hearts. We shift the weight forward and we prepare for Hanumanasana on the second side. So your version of Hanumanasana might be just to return to that stretch we were doing a moment ago. Variation 2, you're just inching your way forward and back. Right heel slides forward, left toes slide back. Bolster, blocks, both. Whatever you need to be uncomfortably comfortable in this posture. And over time, and it does take time and consistency, the body begins to open and a little bit more space will become available. So just settling in for a moment, and then please tuck your back toes if you haven't already. Charge your leg momentarily. It'll help to align and bring integrity to the body. And just a little distraction, right? We're breathing up on the in-breath. And on the exhalation, simply bow your chin towards your chest. Variation 2, on the in-breath, we look up. And on the exhalation, maybe the whole torso folds. Just ripple your way up through the spine on the inhalation. Gently bowing chin to chest through the upper back now, middle back and lower back. Inhale, opening front body. Exhale, bringing more spaciousness to back body. Last 2. One more time, and as we rise here, we'll lift the chin and we'll close down the eyes. Once again, just sitting in the sensation, noticing without reacting, and taking 3 more breaths as you make any little readjustments you need. One more breath in. And on the exhalation, opening the eyes, begin to ease your way out of this position. Block out of the way, bolsters out of the way, hands to the inside if you need to bring that leg around. Coming into 4-point kneeling just momentarily before we end with our pigeon pose. And moving through a happy cat on the in-breath. Just a little bit of loosening through the spine after that really challenging position. Breathe in, drag the heels of the hands towards the knees. Breathe out, push the heels of the hands towards the top of your mat. Just one more of these. Breathe in, opening front body, moving into extension. And on the exhalation, chin to chest, tuck your tailbone, rounding through the spine. Now, as we come to pigeon pose, we'll just come to it via down dog. So if down dog's possible for you, you'll tuck your toes and lift your hips high. And if it's not possible today, you'll just immediately slide into your into your pigeon pose. So in down dog, hands are shoulder distance, feet distant, hip distance. And take a moment to pedal through your heels. Just feel once again how the body's feeling. One more on each side. Last time to switch. And as we pause here, lifting through your left leg, any amount that feels good, we're just using it as a transition. So you'll lift to the tips of your right toes before transitioning through to your version of pigeon. So variation 1 in pigeon, sometimes full pigeon just isn't accessible or available. We'll bring shin parallel to the short edge of the mat. And the back knee is bent as much as you need as you take the weight into your left hand. Option 2, you'll come up and over. Now, bolsters can be used underneath the hips or underneath the torso. Blocks could slide underneath your left hip if it's not in contact with the floor. So once again, I just keep encouraging you to find the modification that allows you to really relax and breathe into the sensation you're feeling. If we're gritting our teeth and holding our breath, we're asking too much, and we're also developing tension in the body rather than teaching the body how to release and relax. So find the perfect option for you and keep lengthening through your back leg as you breathe in. And please keep deliberately rolling your right hip bone towards your left heel as you breathe out. You could stay lifted. You could stack your hands as Grant is doing. Or you could even take a little twist towards your foot by walking the hands across the line of the body. So I'm going to place my right hand on the sole of my foot. And then I'm going to make a fist or flat hand and rest my forehead. So that little change in angle really changes the sensation that I'm feeling. So I encourage you just to play with different positions in your pigeon to find the very best option for you. We'll stay with the position you've chosen for 3 more breaths. Feeling the back of the left hip opening, as well as the front hip flexor on the right. How deeply can you breathe? Can you send the breath to where you need it the most? Taking one more full deep breath in and out. Please lifting through your head and returning to the center if you're not already there. We'll ground into our hands, and before we come out of this, I'd like for you just to lift through the chest. So really taking a moment here to open through front body. And when we do that, you'll feel a little bit more emphasis through your right hip flexor. So keep pressing into your hands, keep lifting through the heart, and now lift the chin a little bit as well. Just stay and breathe for 2 more breaths. One more heart opening breath in. And on the exhalation, release the chin, tuck your back toes, lift yourselves up and back to your downward facing dog once bolsters are out of the way. Sometimes it takes a moment because things are feeling quite different after a pigeon pose. So just stay for 1 breath. And then we'll lift through the right leg. And we'll use it just as a transition to pigeon on the other side. So once again, I encourage you to take that option of leaning into your right hand, bringing the shin parallel, but bending through your left knee, or following Grant's lead with the bolster to support the torso, or you could use the block to support your pelvis. Find the perfect option for you. It doesn't matter what anybody else is doing. And recognizing that our bodies feel different one day to the next. So sometimes what's accessible and easy yesterday doesn't feel that way today, and that's okay. This idea of equanimity within our yoga practice. Can I meet the sensation being offered from my body with equanimity? If you stayed on your forearms last time, please do so again. If you stacked your hands as Grant is doing, please do so again. And if you took the option with me of moving towards your foot, we'll place the palm of our hand against the sole of our foot, and then we'll use our right hand just to support our forehead. Bow your head to the wisdom of your heart, flooding your breath with awareness, with presence. And then how mindfully can you breathe into the places that are speaking the loudest in this position? Can you soften into it? Can you peel the layers away 1 breath at a time? Are you tensing up anywhere in the body? And could you possibly release and relax just a little bit more? Last 3 breaths as the crows serenade us. Just one more full breath, please. Beautiful crew, when the time is right for you, hands come beneath our shoulders and we'll rise through the torso, taking a moment just to exaggerate the opening of the front body. So square your shoulders, press into your hands, lift through your hearts, lift through your eyes and your chins. How long can you make your left leg? How light can you make the heart space? Just taking 3 more breaths. For 2. One more full, deep, glorious breath in. And on the exhalation, chin towards your chest, just take a seat on your right cheek. And let's bring our back leg around, which is your left leg. And we'll face the long edge of our mat to end exactly as we began. Sukhasana with our right leg in front of our left, or coming into our half lotus. Please, with your left hand, palm resting, palm to ceiling, back of the hand resting on your knee. Thumb and index finger lightly taking chin mudra. Peace fingers on your right hand, just pressing gently into the space between your eyebrows. We lift the elbow to lift the heart. We close down the eyes. We'll take a breath in together. And we'll exhale together. And at the end of your exhalation, seal your right nostril. Breathe in through your left nostril only. Pause, seal the left, open the right, breathe out through your right. Breathe in through the right. Pause, seal the right, open the left, breathe out through the left. Breathe in through the left. Seal the left, open the right, breathe out through the right. In through the right. Seal the right, open the left, breathe out through the left. Just one more round of Nadi Shodhana. Breathe in through the left. Seal the left, open the right, breathe out through the right. Breathe in through the right. Seal the right, open the left, breathe out through the left. And at the end of that exhalation, let your right hand also take chin mudra, eyes remaining closed. Press your elbows forward, lift through your heart, take a breath in to lift the chin. And on the exhalation, maintain the length of the spine as you bring your chest towards your collarbones. Spine is long. Breath is smooth and deep. Just taking one more full, expansive breath in and out. On your inhalation, just lift your chin. Let your eyes remain closed as your hands land on your knees, palms down. And with your eyes remaining closed, just feeling the quality of energy within your body. Feeling calm, centered, relaxed. One more breath as you are. And then bringing hands to Anjali Mudra. Just this gesture of respect for ourselves, for each other, for this lifetime, and for the time that we share. One last breath collectively before closing our practice with a bow. Namaste. We hope you've enjoyed this short hip opening sequence. Leave us a comment if you have any questions or feedback for us. Thank you for your energy, your effort, and your time. Namaste.